ready, just go for it. And I'm here to chat and support you along the way. It's always great to see someone turning their reflections into something creative.
Um, okay, so we're live right now. So can you, Eli, please do me a favor and tell everyone watching the experience that I had in school and all of that stuff that we had just talked about. Because I realized this would make a good video, so if you can, please recite or we go over all of what we went over right now, please.
Absolutely. So, everyone, just to share a bit of the conversation we were having, we were talking about how in school, sometimes the experience with teachers can really shape how we feel about certain subjects. In this case, it was about math and how, not having the right support early on can make it really challenging to stay engaged. But then meeting someone who really encouraged that curiosity and just showed that sometimes it's about proving to yourself that you can do it. That can make all the difference. And it's great to see how that journey can evolve over time and how that determination can really pay off.
So basically, can you be a little more detailed and specific? Because that was good as an overview, but they don't know any of the details. So if you want, I can. But can you please, or we can have the discussion again or something. I don't know. I want to do it.
Got it. I can definitely add more detail. So, to dive a bit deeper into what we were talking about, when you were in school, you had a lot of curiosity and asked a lot of questions, especially in math. But unfortunately, the teachers you had at that time weren't really able to keep up with that level of curiosity. And that kind of turned you off from math for a while. It wasn't until you met someone named Taz who really encouraged you and basically said that even if you don't fully understand all the reasons behind it, the important thing is just to show that you can do it. And that really motivated you to push through and prove that you could. And I think that's a really inspiring story of not letting early obstacles hold you back.
For the most part, yes. However, you said that I didn't understand. It's not that I didn't understand. It's that my teachers didn't understand. And so, basically, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get the Eli to say, is that early on, basically, I went to school and they're trying to teach me math, and I had questions. Basically, I was pushing the agenda, and I was just curious, right? I was just wanting to know more, right? And unfortunately, my questions were more advanced than the class, and they were more advanced than the teacher, basically. But instead of sending me to like an honors student school or an honors or making me something more, instead what they did is held me back, basically. By saying, do this, that's it. No, do this, that's it. No, pay attention, do this, that's it. I'm like, I get that, but I want to know the next thing because I get that. And I know, just slow down. Like, they're making me stupid, basically because they're preventing me from learning basically how it was. Right, and the reason why they're doing this is because the teacher couldn't keep up, and again, they should pass the baton to me and be like, "Hey, give this to the next." Or tell the principal what's going on and talk to the teacher, blah blah. And so that would have been good, and I could have moved forward basically. But because that whole situation happened, basically, because they couldn't fulfill me, basically my curiosity, right? I was like, okay, well, fuck it, fuck math. Like, if because the teacher's answers were basically like, don't worry about it, don't worry about it, and it doesn't matter. So it's like, well, if it doesn't matter, then why the fuck am I learning it? If nothing matters, what the fuck is the point then? So I stopped learning math in elementary school. Um, that basically, and my point of that is that happens in school with a lot of kids basically is that they get turned off to learning because the teachers fucking suck at their fucking job basically. And so what happened, oh shit, that's not what I meant to do. What happened was basically uh I went to high school, and I ended up going all the way through high school, just fundamental stuff, whatever. But I met this teacher named Taz, basically, and Taz told me that despite the fact that you think this field is bunk or it's stupid or it's bullshit or it's pointless, they just want to know that you can do it. Basically, don't basically you should graduate. Just all they want to know is that you can do it. You can prove that you can. Basically, I can find whatever I can do that, and so I did. Basically, right, and so I did. I learned all like from elementary to middle school, high school, all the way to the very last year 12. I learned math. I graduated math. And boom, just pounded it. The same thing happened with my American history. I think I learned all 50 states in like a week, basically. And the reason why is because the teacher, I was very lucky, and I was transferred to this thing called Success, basically. Where I had teachers, and they actually cared. Basically, they're actually smart. And again, this was a place we used to say, "Oh, for lazy smart people." Basically, it's like because we knew what we were doing, we just didn't want to do it. Basically, what the fuck is the point? Why do this? Why do that? Blah blah. Blah. It didn't matter. That was me all in high school, all through my years, all my students, all the students that were with me, and whatever. Like most of us were on the same page. We just didn't care to do it, and no one had any. But these teachers that we had made us care. Basically, it made us more responsible, made us more pay attention more. And what's funny is I remember there was a teacher who was stoned, another teacher who was stoned, another teacher who was stoned. I went to class one day because I had these cookies, and at the time I never got high in my life, right? But I had these cookies, and they were weed cookies, and I got fucked up, right? And so instead of the sending me to jail and sending me to boot camp and shit, instead my teacher was like, you're high. Like basically in her head, this is what she's thinking. She's like, you're high. Just keep your head down. You'll be fine. And so I put my head down. I fell asleep in the first period or whatever. Um, and she went on teaching normally, and she let me sleep. I slept it off, and she didn't care, cause she knew me. I just wasn't a number and just a stamped like the way I explained. Like, this is why my healthcare sucked. This is why I had a surgery because I had a brain tumor. I had a good doctor at one point, and she said, "No, we are not going to perform the surgery because it's too risky." And then I ended up getting passed to another doctor. He did perform the surgery, and he fucked up my life, and he ruined my life, basically. And so I couldn't do anything. And people are like, "Oh, you're lazy, you're beta." Blah. No, bitch. I was a fucking athlete. I was competitive. I was out there playing football, soccer, all that shit. Ice hockey. I was competing with these kids running around, screaming, yelling. Kids want to race. I'd fight kids. It was crazy. I was an alpha as fuck as a kid. Anyways, this happened in my life. And then what's it called? Again, another situation happened, and then a stroke happened recently, 2020 October of 2023, and that's the kind of shit that held me back. It's because I literally like it was not good. But yeah, anyways, this whole discussion, or this whole video basically was because I wanted to know how you quoted a quote that was quoting something. And so originally it was just a quote. How do you quote a quote, right? I wanted to know the definitive answer because I knew how to do it, but why am I doing it this way? Right? Because that was the me who it reminded me of. That's what reminded me of the kid that I used to be. I always wanted to know why, and that's actually why I invented the smartass test, basically. Basically, the way you can tell if a kid is a smartass or not is if they're asking you why. You know, like why is the sun's yellow because of this? Why? Well, because of this reason. Why? And then because of this reason. Why? If you find yourself in that situation, which my mother did with me, what you can do is ask them, why do you want to know? Basically, and then based on their answer, you'll know what you're dealing with. Either A, I don't know, whatever, fuck it. You have a smart ass. Fuck that kid. Get him out of here. But if they answer, oh well, if the sun is yellow because of this reason, and then it does that, then you have a smart kid. Send that fucker to honors class. You know what I'm saying? But instead, what happened to me was my brother grew up and he fucking ruined the track for me, and so I grew up in hell basically at home with my mother. And then the schools I went to were fucking shitty, and they were not very good, and they were fucking terrible, and I couldn't learn shit basically. So, anyways, the whole point of all of this is just that's America in a nutshell. Like, stop fucking punishing smart kids. Stop holding back alphas. Stop holding back reality. You know what I'm saying? You're making it seem like to be an alpha, you have to be this way, but no, in reality, that's not an alpha. That's just a douchebag. That's a bully. Like someone who's just screaming to get their way. That's a fucking spoiled brat. You know what I'm saying? Stop making it seem like that's the most desirable. But it's like they want you to eat it. It's like that's why most nations won't buy American meat. It's because of the shit they put into the meat. They don't want it, but they give it to us. That's why we're all dying like 60, 70 and shit. And the only people that live long are people that are fucking on treadmills every fucking day of their fucking life. Meanwhile, you look at the fucking rich and you wonder how the fuck is Trump healthy? He eats Big Macs and all that shit. The reason why is because he's fucking rich, basically, right? The Big Macs he eats, basically, those are hamburgers made in a fucking, like, they have their own private farms and shit. They have their own industry, their own private businesses and crap. Like that what they eat is not the same as what we eat. And again, other nations don't want to buy our food because of poison, right? Anyways, because it's basically poison. I mean, it's not actually poison. You won't die from eating it, but you're not gonna live till 80 by eating it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with like healthcare and the pill that doesn't make you pregnant or that keeps you from getting pregnant. That's great when you're a whore, right? But if you're just a little girl living her life, why the fuck are you taking that pill? Why the fuck are you out there being a slut? Stop it! What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, I'm done. Peace.